Hey everyone, and welcome to my second half of 2022 priority reading list. So if you've seen a few of my videos now, you'll know that Abby of Pelennor, who I'll leave a link to down below, challenged me to read my entire 2022 priority list by July. We are currently in June and I've only got 2 books left. The first one is The Bone Seasons, the other one is The Heart of Iron, and both of them are on my June TBR. I'm buddy reading The Bone Season with her, and I am reading Heart of Iron as a priority in the first week of the month. So fingers crossed, touch wood, that means by the end of the month, by July, I will have actually finished my priority list. So that means I don't have a list for the rest of the year of books I really wanted to get to. So what I thought I'd do is make a video all about the other books I still want to get to this year. And Abby, this does not mean you can dare me to read these by the end of the year, because it ain't happening. Because this is a priority list, but it's also kind of a, I may get to these, I may not. Some of these are priorities, some of these are just, I feel like I may read these ones, or just placeholders for entire series. So no daring me this time, because I am not going to rise to that bait. I'm warning you, I'm not rising to that bait. And now to get on to the actual list, now that Abby has been sufficiently warned. First one on this list is actually more the Discworld, because I realised I have not read a single Discworld book this year, which is shocking. And shouldn't have happened. I should have read a Discworld book by now. We're 6 months into the year and I just haven't yet, which is ridiculous. So what I want to do is read at least one Discworld book. I'm currently holding up Moving Pictures. I don't specifically mean this one, I literally mean literally any of them. So yeah, I don't want to read like loads of them by any means. I try to read 1 to 4 a year, just so I'm sort of keeping my toes in with this series without reading loads and loads and loads of them and running out very quickly. So yeah, I do want to read at least one this year. I just don't know which one, but I do want to read more Discworld this year. Next, I'd like to continue on with the Wayfarers series. I've literally only got 2 left. I've got this one, which is Record of a Spaceborne Few, and the final book, The Galaxy and the Ground Within? Something like that, the final book. Anyway, this is a series of companion novels set in space, and they're nice sort of easy-going stories. They sort of feel like Star Trek to me. They remind me a lot of Star Trek in the sense that each chapter focuses on a different character, and you sort of get a sort of like little mini story throughout it and an overarching plot line, but nothing really scary happens, nothing massive happens kind of thing, and they're just sort of cozy sci-fis essentially, which I really enjoy reading, so I really want to continue on with this series, if not finish it. I also have the final 2 in the Dark Artifices series, so that is Lord of Shadows and Queen of Air and Darkness, which are huge, which is why I'm not going to try and catch up on all of it. This is actually the final 2 Mortal Instruments Shadowhunters books I own that I haven't read yet, so I definitely want to read these 2. I read the first one, which is something Lady Midnight, that's it. I've read that one now and really enjoyed it, so I want to continue on with Emma and Julian's story and nearly catch myself up, because then I've only got Tales from the Shadowhunter Market and then the Chain of Gold series that I haven't read yet, if I remember rightly. Then I'm only going to be a few books behind essentially. Either way, I really want to read these 2. They're just really chunky, so I may save them for a tome topple. I don't know, but I do generally want to read these 2. I'd also quite like to read The Midnight Twins. This one is a fantasy about twins, obviously. I don't really know much else. I've just heard Hannah talking about this one occasionally, and she said recently that there's a character in here that I'm probably going to relate to, which has intrigued me, so I really want to give it a go. I'd also like to read Only Ashes Remain, as well as When Villains Rise. These are the next and final 2 in the Dark Market series? Market of Monsters series. The first one being Not Even Bones. This one is a series that I describe as Wednesday Addams in a book, in the sense that we're following a main character of Nina, who basically dissects monsters for a living, and then her mother sells them on the black market. I really enjoyed the first book. I own the second one. I have not read it yet, despite the fact that I really love Not Even Bones. I'm probably going to read this one around Halloween, to be fair, but either way, I still really want to read this series and carry it on and finish it, because I enjoyed the first one so much. I've then also got the Ivory Key, which Abby actually gifted this to me, so thank you very much, Abby, for gifting this to me. And it says 4 siblings, a country in ruin, one quest to save them all. I can't remember much else about this one. I just know she's absolutely raved about this one, and a lot of people I trust have raved about this one, so I really want to give it a go. I also have a Phoenix First Must Burn. I've owned this anthology for like 2-3 years now, and I have not read it yet, and I really want to. This one is, it says it's stories of black girl magic, resistance and hope, and it's 16 tales that explore the black experience through fantasy, science fiction and magic, and I really want to read more like black written fantasy, voices fantasy, sci-fi, all the rest of it by black authors. This one includes stories from like Elizabeth Acevedo, Danielle Clayton, Charlotte Nicole Davies, Rebecca Rowanhorse, L.L. McKinney, Danielle Page, people like this, and I really want to read more of these types of things so I can discover more authors to read essentially, so I really want to finally get this one off the list. I also have The Infinity Courts. This one I've heard nothing but good things about, and also the cover is really, really pretty, but this one I've actually forgotten what it's about. Oh yeah, so the main character has been murdered, but then she wakes up, she learns she's in a place called Infinity where human consciousness goes when physical bodies die, and that sounds really interesting to me. Again, I've heard some really, really good things about this one. The sequel has come out this year, so I really want to give it a go to see if I want the sequel as well. And then finally, I have Tales from the Hinterland, which I still haven't read yet. I literally pre-ordered this and got it on day of release after reading the Hazelwood and the Night Country and really, really enjoying them. And then I didn't read this one for no apparent reason, despite the fact that I love the first two so much. And this is literally the stories that are referenced throughout the book, so like the first two books, and you've got stories in here that sound really interesting. You've got like Alice 3 Times, The Skinned Maiden, The House Under the Stairwell, The Mother and the Dagger, Twice Killed Catherine, Death and the Woodwife, The Door That Wasn't There, stuff like this. It all sounds really, really interesting. I have loved the first two books. I am really excited for Melissa Albert's next book, but I should probably read this one before I read that one, because it's been sat here for a really long time. It's literally an anthology. It's really short. I should get to it. And that's actually going to be where I end this priority list, because otherwise I'm going to carry on looking around my shelves and adding more and more and more to the list, which I don't want to do because that looks manageable and I don't want to make it unmanageable. Even though I'm not getting dared to do this because I'm not falling for another dare, this feels manageable. I like to keep the list manageable now, thank you. So I'm going to leave this video here. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me which book I should prioritise first. I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a flower related emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link down below to all my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics. I'll also leave a link as well down below to my Etsy and Redbubble store, which sells bookish merch and bookish bullet journal stuff if you're interested in that. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos where I hopefully read some of these, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!